She does get a little out of hand every once in a while, but we
Yeah?
just have to reel her in. That's all. Getting all crazy.
I like it. And she wore the Rousey T-shirt. What happened to Rousey's? Anybody know?
It's in the news.
It's a classic.
Man, that is beautiful. That opening is just beautiful. But what's even more beautiful is some of the stuff that we shot over the weekend. But for the people listening to us, you're here, actually listening to and watching us, you're here at Full Contact Fanatics. Don't forget, you can check us out every Monday here at free admission. We usually go from 8 till about 9:15, so you definitely want to be here with us. Also, don't forget, special edition of Gym Crashers. We're going to talk about that real soon. We'll get into that in a minute. Got Dondo over here to my left, going to talk a little bit about all the stuff that went down there. Got Miguel. Hopefully Miguel can find a mic before we get going so that we can go to him every once in a while. And when we have these huge weekends, like we usually do with the UFC and different types or whatever.
A big one.
I always call on Aaron Muro because we were talking before we went on, and she is just a wealth of knowledge. I feel like a sponge when I have Aaron Muro on because then I could just absorb all the knowledge.
We don't even need Google.
That she possesses. Would you agree?
I agree.
Aaron, how are you? We're glad to have you.
I'm glad.
Now,
to
it was
be
a
here.
huge weekend. Did you watch most of the fights that went on this weekend?
Yes, I did.
Great.
Yes.
That's why we have you. But real quick, don't forget you can go to onthemat.com. Make sure you check out On The Mat. Got a bunch of new videos up there. Got they're streaming. I think Rafael Lovato Jr. He's training for not only some jiu-jitsu tournament, but I think he's got Bellator coming up real soon. So they got some stuff up there. So make sure you check that out, as well as myluckygi.com. MyLuckyGi, you can check that out. We're going to get into that in just a second. We actually went down to Affliction. We shot some stuff in the gi.
What a cool
We didn't
place.
actually film any of the rolling
Yep.
or whatever there. We were there for quite a while. I got there at about 6. I thought it was late. I was
Yeah,
like, where's
yeah.
everybody at? And everybody's like, oh, we're on our way. I'm like, dude. And then everybody just started showing up. So we were there from about, I would say, 6:30, 6:45. And I didn't leave till about 10:30, almost
10:30, 11.
Robert was probably there till 11:15 or so.
He closed the shop.
Cleaning up all the crap. But for the people that are here, I'm telling you, we put a little bit out there with we shot a different Lucky Gi because Miguel had the blue, I think it's called the California, NorCal, Cali style gi. So we shot that.
Don't put the N-word in there.
Dondo had
North.
the Diaz Brothers gi, which was slam. And I thought both of them were pretty cool. I thought, I liked
I
the
am
look.
absolutely in love with that
everything.
gi. I cannot thank Scotty Nelson
Yeah, so
and the OTM people.
We did not only did we film both the spots for Lucky Gi, but we filmed a special edition of Gym Crashers. We had Josh had his first jiu-jitsu lesson. We're going to talk about that. You and Miguel actually jumped in the class and rolled and stuff like that. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We don't want to give out too much for Gym Crashers because that's all Robert's putting all that together, and we're going to show it. But real quick, especially since we have Aaron here, real quick, if you can, Robert, run that first spot that we did with Miguel because that's it. Even though it's still a rough draft, I think it came out great.
We call it the unboxing.
I think it really shows the Lucky Gi and what we're all about here. So for the people that are let's say Conca, people like that, check this out. Definitely going to want to see what we can do for you and for your product. So real quick, Robert, whenever you get a chance, let's put that up real quick so you can check it out.
Attention to detail. Look at this.
That's what I'm talking about. That showed everything from, and it was funny because after we were filming, I kept telling him, I hope we shoot from behind so you can get that whole Lucky Gi and you could and he panned in and out. I thought, what'd you think, Aaron? Tell us.
Yeah, I thought it was badass.
Yeah, and so if you're a jiu-jitsu practitioner and you saw that commercial, would you be interested in buying one of those gis?
Yeah, I loved it.
Let's
I
get
would.
a little closer to that.
Oh.
but-
If Brown looks that
I
good in
loved
that
it.
color, I want it.
yeah, I thought let me tell you something before
That's right.
we
Whoa.
continue on. When Robert brought this to us,
Yes.
he said, "Look, man, this is what I want to do, or whatever." I was a little skeptical. I was like, "Well, I don't know if we want to bring this person in and to do this or whatever." He's like, "Dude, trust me, I'm telling you." When he sent me the finished product and I saw it, I said, "Man, I will never doubt him again." That is exactly what I was talking about as far as bringing it around. And I thought it went really well.
He's a
Now,
man
Robert,
of vision.
I know you. I don't know if you have a mic over there or whatever, Robert. But can you? Who was the person that came with us to come and film over there at Affliction?
Spencer, the Kimura man.
Spencer. So, and he, dude, he spent a lot of time, both him and Robert, going on the mat to check out and film some of the rolling
true.
without the gi.
Yep.
And then we'd go and set up over in the ring, put the lights up so we could shoot the commercial. Then we'd stop and we'd go do an interview and everything. So it was a full day of shooting and stuff, not only for
With the
Gym
crew.
Crashers, but for the commercials and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I thought it turned out really well. I'm very anxious to see the finished product. So hopefully that'll be coming up pretty soon.
Yes.
Aaron can check that out. Then we can get the expert opinion
Absolutely.
from Aaron Murro, and that will be the what's it called? That's what will set the bar.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
I'm telling you, look,
All
I'm
right.
looking forward
You
to you
send it
checking-
my way.
I'm
I'll let
looking-
you know.
I'm telling you, I'm looking forward to you checking that
Thumbs
out.
up, thumbs
because it's
down.
awesome. So we'll talk a little bit about that real quick. When we got there, I didn't know that Miguel and Dondo were actually going to get into the class and actually do it.
That's
Now,
what we do, man.
Josh,
Spreading that day low
Wh-
jiu-jitsu.
what do we consider Josh, the normal guy, or how
Man
do we
off the
label him?
street. He's just a new guy.
Regular dude that just got up off the couch and
That's
decided to
right.
jump in.
He's a normal guy. He's pretty tall.
He's
like
average
maybe
Joe.
6'3".
Right? Average Joe.
Yeah, he's like maybe 6'3".
Yeah.
6'3",
He's a lanky
average?
fella.
I mean, well, we're saying average like person. Like,
Oh,
we didn't,
okay,
we didn't bring
right.
anybody who had like a
Yeah,
track
yeah.
background or something.
We didn't bring a ringer.
So his first day, we went to Affliction. Tracy Hess was the main trainer up there.
Yes,
we
he
had
is.
Max was his assistant coach. Max
Damien?
Damien.
What a cool guy.
Yeah,
Max
felt
is a
really-
gentleman.
I felt really welcome over there. I thought
Oh
it was
man,
pretty cool.
they're brothers.
So, Josh, when they first started, they started with some opening, getting warmed up, did a few sprints, and then they did some sprints with the sprawls. And when it got to about 5 sprawls apiece, tell us what happened to Josh.
Well, not only did Josh quit, I had quit even prior to the sprawls. I stepped aside and said, "You guys go ahead and keep up with this." But yeah, he was winded.
He was gassed.
Yes,
he
it's-
was gassed.
It
by
isn't
the
just
end.
a game of technique. You got to get
Yeah, because
conditioning
I don't
down,
think
right?
they know what they're getting into. I
Yeah.
think they just think that you roll,
No.
you do some technique, and then you go live.
Yep.
So he was in for a big surprise, and we got an interview with them.
And he
after
didn't
it
know
was
what
all
going
over.
live was.
Yeah, and we got some footage. When we actually got into techniques, Miguel, and I think you would agree, when we were doing, when you're on your bottom scooting and you get the arm bar, that's when it seemed like he started to shine because his limbs were so long he was able to kind
Piece of cake.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it was very productive for him as well. So I thought that was pretty cool. Then I'm gonna tell you where I had a little bit of a problem. You guys actually went in and started working. You guys did some technique. While you were doing the technique, I would say the class started at 8.
Yeah.
I say this was probably getting to be about maybe 8:45, closer to 9 o'clock.
Yep.
Okay? There must have been at least 3 or 4 people that just kind of walked in late and then just jumped in the class.
That's true.
Now, to me, I don't want to say disrespectful.
Mhm.
It seems that way, but to me, it seems like if you're coming for the class starts at 8, and we'll see if Aaron agrees with this on this. To me, because I saw 3 or 4 guys there that got there early, they were stretched out, ready to go. When it hit 8 o'clock, they were on the mat and ready to go.
Yeah.
So to me, it seems like if class is at 8 o'clock, you come in strolling at about 8:40, walk right up and get in the class. There should be some sort of repercussion, right? Like maybe run a couple laps.
Where I'm
or
from, there are repercussions for that.
right?
Yeah,
Hell
where
you
we're
doing,
from, yeah,
man?
you get reamed, especially if you just waltz in with,
Especially with that look on
with your
your
head up,
face.
with your head up your then yeah,
And just walk right in.
and
the
just
class.
walk right in, yeah.
Yeah, and I saw more than a few
Well,
people.
you're right, and we're looking at it from the perspective that we know. There's people coming late. What is this all about? However, maybe there's a prearranged thing where, maybe they're fighters. Maybe they're getting in the last bit of their workout for the day. I don't know what the arrangement is, but maybe we just don't know. Just try to keep
Yeah.
an open mind.
No, you're right. No, for sure.
I'm gonna be honest. I was too scared to ask Tracy. I didn't want to say, "Hey, man, what's up with that?" Because
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know what I mean. They'll go, you know what? Why don't you come in at 8 o'clock and then we'll see what happens. We'll pose this to our guest, Aaron. Aaron, to me, that just seems the way it should be. Class starts at 8 o'clock. You should be on that mat, stretched out and ready to go at 8 o'clock. What do you think?
Yeah, it's respectful to the other people taking the class, and also the person teaching the class.
Yeah, so there should be some sort of repercussion, right?
You got to
At
back
least-
up your crew, yeah.
Yeah, at least.
Well, the way I see it is, I mean, we all have regular jobs as well, and I mean, we all have a specific start time. I know some people have the luxury of starting whenever,
right.
but you know what I mean.
So-
I know if I'm late to work, I mean, I get
Oh,
you
yeah.
get written up, whatever, you know. So
One or two times I could see, or whatever. Hey, man, because things happen. There's traffic.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
accidents, Things happen, but and like you said, we don't really know. That's the only thing. I'm just telling you.
I
what
try to keep an
noticed
open mind.
as I watched.
No,
as I
yeah,
watched
yeah.
the whole class. So then you guys worked on. I was calling it tricep escape from the bottom.
Yeah, it's
At
really
first, I was
it's
thinking
a-
it was a ghost escape, but he was actually grabbing the tricep and coming around.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah, it's a sneaky hip escape because you're kind of hipping through, coming
Mm-hmm.
around, and then you go into north-south or take the arm, whatever you want to do. But it was interesting, and I liked it. And
And it seemed like it took Josh a few minutes to get that, but it seemed like he finally started to get the hang of it a little bit towards the end.
yeah, I agree. I think the more he kind of rolls with us and tags along as far as like rolling and all that, he'll kind of start piecing it together.
Right.
When it all kind of flows.
And as you'll see in the interviews that we did when we talked to Josh, I'm like, Rome wasn't built in a day.
Oh,
This
yeah.
was your first day. It's going to be like that. And if it wasn't like that, everybody would do it.
Yeah,
You know
you're
what I
right.
mean? So
Yep.
he really got an eye opener. All in all, going to Affliction, I thought they were real cool. They, everybody was real cool to us over there. We got a interview with Chase Gormley.
yep,
Talked to him. He was a Bellator, but I think he's going up to something else now. And then who was the other Bellator fighter that we got towards the end? Robert?
Gabe,
Gabe. We got Gabe, not Rudiger, but Gabe.
I can't remember.
I forget his last name, but
I did too. He's a great
he
guy,
actually
though.
has a fight coming up in January for
Yeah.
Bellator.
Yeah.
We talked about that.
It is not inked, but it is definitely under heavy
Right.
discussion.
We got Tracy Hess. Talked to him about.
Tracy Hess, a good dude. It was
we
really
talked to him
cool.
about rolling for 20 plus years.
Yeah, he's got his
Starting
time
with,
in. He actually
starting with Chris Brennan.
he had the first sub fighter, so we did visit Affliction, but it was sub fighter MMA.
Exactly, and then you got Max Damien himself.
Yes.
So
on
that's
Bloody
that's
Max.
a loaded show. We might even be able to go an hour and a half, 2 hours on that show. So definitely want to check that out. I just wanted to put that out there before we get on
it's good stuff.
to the news and to the UFC, because that was my actual first time going out with you guys for Gym Crashers.
First of many.
Yep.
And I thought
First
it
of
was
many.
cool.
That's
I thought
right.
I thought it was
Yep.
pretty cool the way, you can kind of show the people, well, look, this is what you can expect.
Yeah.
You come, here's the class, this is what we do. We get started. Then we do some technique, we do some drilling, then we go live. And then everybody kind of went, if guys are getting ready for a fight, they jumped in the cage, they started working with them and stuff. And it went really well. But the spots that we shot for Lucky Gee, I think is going to be the topper of all toppers. Just as you can see from
Beautiful
just
stuff.
the rough draft that we put out. It takes a lot of time. I know it sucks, especially because you stand around for a long time. Because Robert, it takes time to set up. They got to set the lights up, and then they put this camera, and they set it up, and then you shoot for about maybe 2.5, 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it takes a while to get it just right. So it's good because then you can kind of see where Robert and I'm sorry, what's the other cameraman's name?
Spencer.
Spencer, yes.
Are coming from. So,
Yeah.
Robert, quick public service announcement. I will never doubt you again, bruh. Okay. Holler. I will never doubt you again. So, anyways, look forward to that. Make sure you stay tuned. Gym Crashers is also on the same Instagram with Free
Yes,
Edition and
sir.
all that.
Yep. We're all under the same umbrella.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, Robert, I know you're already a couple of shows in. You got Russ Mira coming up. So we're looking at maybe at least three or 4 weeks before that Gym Crashers comes out.
Probably 2.
Oh, 2? That's all.
Every
Yeah,
other week
every
we
other
put
week.
one out.
Okay, well,
Well,
I'll
no,
tell
I mean,
you.
we put one every week.
Every
out.
week one's out, but
so-
we're 2 behind.
Yeah, so like it'll be
We stack 'em.
Russ Mura's next this coming Thursday.
Russ Muir next for sub fighter BJJ
Yes.
Laguna
Okay.
Hills.
Well,
Yeah,
for
and then next week, not this coming Friday, but next week Friday be that episode.
Dude, that's cool. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. For the people that are watching and listening to us right now, if you send us a message or type in or whatever, type in as many people as we can, and if we can get, let's say, 50, 60 people to type in. Robert will work day and night, overnight to get it done a lot sooner. All right. So if you want to speak your mind, go ahead and write into us
That's
and
right.
tell him, Robert, man, we want to see that episode. Let's go, buddy.
He
Let's
has
get it done."
insomnia, so he needs to do something.
Yeah, you got to stop wasting those 8 hours sleeping, bruh. We got to get it done. So, hey, little babies, ani madre, way, get it done. So that's that. Look forward to it, man. Honestly, man, I had a good time, man. It kind of, I had to go to work early the next day, but
Yeah.
I stayed through the whole thing because I wanted to make sure that we got everything that we wanted, and we did. So we definitely look forward to
What
it.
a crew, man. We put together a good crew.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's happening.
Josh is probably still sleeping from there. I don't know if
Yeah.
he still was able to get himself going after that, but I think he's going to keep going, and I think we got a little something there. Any idea where we're going to go next before we continue on here?
That's a good question. I wasn't sure if our producer has put together an agenda.
Do you have anything in the works right now, Robert?
Probably CMMA second.
Okay, the Southgate. So
or in my opinion, Mr. Varela's place, who
Exactly.
I know
They're all pumped up for World, so
Yes.
let's go break our backs over there.
definitely, I think Marvin did damage again in the Worlds. I think he
I think
had a-
Chad did too.
it was a
I see
gold and a
their
couple
pictures
silver.
and their trophies all over the place. Their teams have done very well.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll definitely keep everybody posted on that when we're going to go to the next gym. Now, I want to get to the UFC. I mean, I'm going to tell you this real quick before we get into it fully, because we usually start from the bottom and work to the top. I love Lyoto Machida to death, man. I mean, I really do. I have a very good,
He drinks his special juice. You know that, right?
Extra strong.
of course.
Yes.
I don't know what that actually does. There's a couple boxers I know that do that too.
Yeah. I wouldn't drink mine if you paid
Is
me.
that
Yeah.
legit? Does he legit do that?
That's I don't know.
Is that-
We'll have
is it?
George Guimaraes coming in soon. We can ask him that.
People drink it because they say you're passing vitamins that your body needs. Well, I'll just take another vitamin.
Oh yeah, that makes that makes no sense.
And I'll do without that flavor.
Yeah, I'm sure there's other alternatives, but Lyoto's been around for a long time, and
Yep.
it seemed like when he first bursted onto the scene, and we'll pose this to our special guest Aaron Murro, they couldn't figure out his style. He had that karate style where he would kind of sit back, and then when you would make a move, he counter and bam.
Yeah.
And he was throwing the kicks, catch you in the liver, whatever.
It's
and
that
you were-
tournament style is
yeah,
what it
you were
is.
really,
Karate
really
tournament style.
And he's a great
thrown off.
striker.
Exactly. Now, do you think it was a whole matter of them figuring out his style, or do you think it's a matter of, hey man, everybody gets up there in age, and it kind of catches up to you, whatever. Me personally, I think it's a matter of people got that style figured out. And
Well-
because he caught him with the left hand.
He grew up doing
Brunson
the
caught him
karate
with the left
tournaments.
hand.
I think it's a matter of power too. I mean, Brunson has raw power.
Well, sure. Once you get hit the way he got hit, he
Yeah,
went
if
right
you're going to
down.
take one straight on, yeah, you're in
Yeah.
trouble.
Yeah,
So-
he thunderstruck him.
And then after
Big
that,
I
time.
like that he thunderstruck him.
Yeah. And then after that, he had no chance. Once you get hit and you go down to the ground like that, he's going to jump on you, and that's it. Now,
His
His-
stance too. It's his stance. It's much
Yeah.
like a fencer, if you ask
Yeah.
me. You know what I
and
mean?
it's kind of a bouncy type
Yep.
back and forth,
Yep.
Yeah.
and then he strikes
Mm-hmm.
or whatever.
He's
so,
elusive.
Yeah, so, I hate to say this, man, but right before he went on, Jessica was coming by, and I said, you know what? I hate to say it, but I for some reason I have a feeling he's going to get knocked out. I don't want him to, but I just have the feeling. And sure enough, he got caught. He got knocked out by Derek Brunson. That's great for Brunson.
Yeah.
That's gonna propel him into top 5 or whatever, maybe top 10. So we'll take this around the horn, okay? We'll go to Dondo first. Where do you think Lyoto goes from here? Should he? He's got a school in Torrance. He opened up a karate school.
Yeah.
Should he just say, hey man, I had a good career. I got my school now, or do you think he should just try one more fight?
When you're talking about somebody like Lyoto Machida, he comes from a fighting family, and he's the most prominent of all those fighters.
Right.
They grew up in such a fashion, and they trained in the old way, the Japanese style, with the Brazilians. So I don't think quit is in him. I don't think that he's anywhere near quitting just yet. I think he's going to test himself a little further, regardless of his age and the miles he's already put on.
Would Aaron Murro, would you agree with that?
I think that fans are still interested in seeing him fight. I mean, I think that they'd like to see maybe one more fight out of him. But for me personally, I think he should hang it up.
But if we say one more fight, I mean, who would be the ideal person to put him against?
Well, he's not in the top 15, so
Yeah.
He's got to work his way back up,
Yeah.
whoever's next.
it would have to be some kind of almost like a legend super fight, or
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what keeps people interested,
yeah,
right?
like somebody like a Vitor Belfort.
Oh,
Yeah.
now we're talking. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, somebody who's on just like him on the
Yeah.
cusp.
yeah,
Yep.
He's almost
Yeah.
there, but he's almost in retirement.
yeah.
So maybe somebody like Vitor Belfort.
Battle in the Amazon. Put it together, Favi.
Yeah, yeah. Oh. Sean Shelby, I'm telling you, man. All you gotta do is watch the show. We'll hook you up.
Yeah.
Lyoto, let him rest up a little bit and stuff, and get back into it. Bring Vitor Belfort out the mothballs. Bam, set that up. I think people would pay to see it,
Yeah,
or maybe put on a Fox Sports
sure.
card or whatever.
Yeah.
People watch that on free card. Yeah, I would.
Yeah, I think.
Oh,
that-
absolutely.
Miguel, what do you think?
Yeah, damn straight.
Miguel against Miguel.
Miguel
Against
against Lyoto
Vitor
Machida.
Belfort?
Yeah, like Aaron said, I think one of those like old timers match. Just
Nostalgia.
yeah,
Bring
just
them
to
back.
send both of them off. I guess
I would agree. At first, I was totally against it. I thought, come on, man. That just
Yeah.
you had a good career. You got your karate dojo or whatever. Just go ahead and ride off. And he's got kids too. Those kids are probably going to be just as bad.
They're
going
going to come up through the ranks because the dad pushes them.
Exactly.
Grandpa pushes them. You know what I mean?
it kind of sucks watching those dudes though go out because it's like
I know.
you watch them from like
feel bad.
It
way
changes-
back when,
yeah.
and you see all these new guys coming up, and you're like, damn,
But I've
No,
seen.
you're right. You're absolutely right.
I've seen and met the father and the uncle.
Really?
And they're just man. That Black House. Remember I told that.
Tell me,
story
tell
on
me.
here?
Tell me more about this.
I think I've told it here before. I don't know. Aaron's probably gonna go, oh my God, I think I've heard this already. But I was at Black House, and they pulled up. He was getting ready for a fight.
Pretty cool.
And they pulled up in a little black Honda, and it was Lyoto, it was the brother Chinzo, it was the dad and the uncle. And I was talking with Ed Soares, and we're talking about some stuff for Sinister. So they pull up, and I see all these people get out of this little Honda. The dad gets out, and he's in a blue gi that looked like he's had it since he was
Wow.
in his 20s.
Nice.
Tattered black belt
Yeah.
with the hard chanclas. I don't know what you call them.
Yeah, yeah.
Hard
The wooden ones,
flip-
yeah.
Yeah, wooden ones.
Yeah.
And the uncle the same way.
Yeah. They're
And
traditional.
they were just boom, like
Yeah.
two rocks got out
I
of
know
the
it.
car. And Lyoto was huge. I mean, TV does that dude no justice. So they come in, and Ed tells him something in Portuguese or whatever, and I hear him say Fabiano. He puts his hand out. I shake his hand. It was like shaking the hand of like those rocks you just showed us. in
They're
Colorado.
samurais, dude.
It was like that, man. I mean, it was just like a rock. And then he tells him something else again in Portuguese. So he opens up his gi, and he had to be in his maybe mid to
60s?
maybe
Mid-60s?
early 70s.
Okay.
Or whatever. And dude, he was just
Cut up. We
Amazing.
drink beer, they drink pee, dude. That tells you right
and
That tells you right there.
they drink pee.
I just looked at him and
They're
I was
hardcore.
like, I bowed and I was like, wow. So he tells him something, and he walks off, and Ed says, that's nothing. He goes, you should see the house. He goes, that house is spotless.
Yeah.
He goes, you could eat off the floors. That thing is just clean.
Yep.
He goes, and they train on the wooden floor.
Yes.
They don't train on mats.
Judo
They
style.
Oh, wow.
train on wooden floor. He goes, that's why Lyoto and them are such badasses.
Yeah.
And he said the reason they're here is because he's getting ready to fight. So him and the uncle stay at the hotel after weigh-ins. They have all this food ready, and it's just completely, taken care of
Yeah.
for them. That's what makes them, such bad fighters. But after seeing his father, and this was probably, God, at least 6-7 years ago, maybe. I was like, man, I want to be like that.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to go live
Right.
with them. You know what I
Right.
mean? 'Cause
We gotta
it
get
was
off the
just-
burritos.
Floors clean and everything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Amazing, amazing.
No
I like
no
cleanliness.
pee stains on the floor.
No.
So of course I told.
They don't drip.
You
That
can
don't
get
drip.
on it,
Because
man.
they're drinking.
course I told Ed.
Well, I don't know.
I was like, hey, can you take me? We'll ride in the luggage rack or whatever. And he promised me, so I'll have to hold him to that.
I like it.
Anyways, when you see something like that, you kind of like, dude.
It gives you
know,
something to
had
aspire
your-
to.
You had your fame or whatever. Man, let's just ride off into the sunset. I don't know. It'd be nice to talk to his dad and see what he thinks. Because I think
Yeah.
Dad's going to say, he's got 2 or 3 more fights in him. Don't even worry about it.
Oh,
Or
shit.
whatever.
I
So,
doubt it. I think they'll push.
Yeah.
It's in their nature to fight, so it is what they do.
I would agree. And so what's happening with his brother Chinzo? The last I saw, he hit that dude with a knee and completely crushed his face. And I don't think he's fought since, has he?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
no.
Who's he?
I think he lost.
In Bellator?
Recently. Yeah, I think Chinzo lost recently.
Because he was an RFA, if I'm not mistaken, when he crushed that dude's face, right?
Yeah, let me.
Was that
Robert's going to bring that up for
wait,
us.
whose face was that?
I don't remember. I just remember he hit him with the knee, and it was just, that was the worst I've ever seen. Not as bad as Heather Hunt or what's her
Oh,
name?
Heather
man.
Hardy?
She was
Heather-
all split up.
Not as bad as that, but nonetheless.
That might be the bloodiest fight of the year.
That was horrible.
You know what? Heather Hardy, she hasn't improved at all since her first MMA fight.
Well, that girl was all wrong for her. She was beating her to the punch, and they kept telling her, close the distance. When she closed the distance, she was just cracking her with elbows. Her face was just a mess by that first round.
Well,
Sometimes he was just outfoxed.
She was trying to stick to her boxing, and then that girl just pulled out the Muay Thai and
kicking her from distance.
She taught her a lesson in MMA.
Oh yeah, slapping her in the face
doubt.
like the Diaz brothers, but with their fist. With their feet.
Heather Hardy is doing still doing boxing and MMA. And I don't think that personally. I don't think that's a good idea.
That was an eye opener for her.
Yeah,
I have to admit. So who did he fight?
He lost to James Gallagher.
In June.
Oh yeah. That's
James
right.
Gallagher.
Yeah.
In Dream?
No, in June.
Oh, in June.
Bellator.
Yeah,
For
Bellator.
which? Was it for Bellator?
Yeah. He got choked out first round.
Yeah,
He got
that was their
out.
pay-per-view card.
So I wonder if they're gonna start putting their efforts more in Chinzo, since he's still kind of, even though he had a loss.
Nah,
don't think so?
I think Leoto's their guy. He's the son that made it as far as he could go, and I don't know that Chinzo's going to go any further.
Well, Chinto's got more than a loss.
Yeah.
He's got a few.
Yeah,
That's minor. We don't worry about that here.
He's also the older brother.
yeah.
Oh, is he really? I thought
Yeah.
he was a younger. Oh no.
He's the oldest.
Pues son de los viejitos, güey. You're not gonna find nobody, man. But well, it remains to be seen. I think just after seeing the dad and how hard they work, I think the dad's gonna go, look, man, let's go out on a winning note.
Yeah.
And take it. So
We'll
see what happens.
Absolutely.
Hey, George Guimaraes is booked for next week, so we should be able to get it straight from the horse's mouth.
That's right.
And find out for sure.
Give us a little background on him. How do you know him? Where's he come from?
Well-
What's he bring to the table?
Well, when I started working for Sinister with Ed Soares, that's been his partner for years.
Okay.
George Guimaraes. And he used to have a show called Passing the Guard.
Uh-huh.
Back in the day, it was on, I think, Channel 56, KDOC.
That's a cool name.
Yeah. And he's been with, him and Ed have been managing fighters forever. Anderson Silva, Lyoto, Jose Aldo, all those guys. So Ed's got so much going on now with LFA and everything. So George Guimaraes has had to really take over and start traveling with these guys and getting them booked. And, between the two of them, they do. And we talked a few times because we figured we might merge Passing the Guard with something from Sinister and actually do a show. But then he went on to do one in Portuguese, which I didn't think did too well.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Limited audience, right?
Yeah. But when I went
The
that day,
Spanish speaker's going to turn it right off.
that same day when Lyoto and his father and all them came down, George Guimaraes walked in and there was a rumor that somebody killed him in Brazil.
Whoa.
What?
Yeah. And so what's the guy's name that beat up Josh Barnett in UFC? The kickboxer.
Pedro Hizzo?
Pedro Hizzo.
Yeah.
Pedro Hizzo's wife called him crying and saying that he had got killed or whatever. So Pedro called George and said, no, I'm not dead, man.
Whoa.
When he comes, we'll ask him
That's
about
heavy.
that, because that day he a bunch of people were calling him and to find out if there was a big rumor in Brazil that he had got killed. Yeah.
Imagine, I think he's dead. Let me call him.
Yeah,
Hello?
No, well,
You're not dead yet.
Or calling the office.
Yeah,
or
I
his
got you.
phone,
Yeah.
See, boy, are you still there? So we'll ask him all that when he gets. I'm telling you, man. It's
good
the
stuff.
Dude, yeah, he's just gonna just give him the ball and he'll run with it because he's got so much going on. So
Actually going back to how we were saying like a Legends fight, maybe if they made Machida and Shogun 3.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, why not?
I think it's a pointless fight, let's be honest, but
Shogun wears the
they did
same
fight
shorts
twice
Miguel
and
wore.
they were 1-1.
Yeah.
I think I would rather see him and Vitor. I don't know about Shogun. At one time, Shogun seemed unbeatable. I mean, he was cracking people in Pride.
Well, his style.
just
He was a
doing
dominant.
Well,
Yeah.
once John
was very
John
scary.
Jones Jones,
Right.
whatever,
That's not juice. That's powder,
I think
baby.
after you
Yeah.
put
Powder
it
and
on something
condoms.
like that,
You
yeah.
drink-
Powder
you
and
drink juice.
condoms,
He wasn't
yeah.
drinking
Yeah,
that stuff.
I think things
He was
changed.
snorting it.
Yeah. Oh.
So
doing something with it.
Moving on, did you guys get to check out? I know Aaron did. But
Yes,
did you guys
absolutely,
get to check out
man.
the fights?
Watched all
Miguel?
of them.
Yeah.
We knew Damian Maia was going to try to get Colby Covington down to the ground.
Yes.
It was a big fat effort in futility. Didn't happen.
I still think that we can't underestimate somebody like Maya's jiu-jitsu.
Right. Well, no.
Just so you know, he
as
can
far
be.
as jiu-jitsu for MMA, there's nobody better than that dude. He's really, but
He's still a
gotta get him
contender
to
for
the
that.
ground. And Colby Covington wasn't having any of it. And
Yeah.
when he would get he would sprawl or tie him up, he was doing damage. He was throwing punches.
Sure.
He beat him up. He beat him up pretty well. Most of the time when it's a Damian Maia fight, it's going to go all 3 rounds. and usually it's a decision because of the way he fights. So he gets a 3-round unanimous. Okay, we're gonna go back and see what Damian Maia you think the future is for him. But Robert, you want to chime in on that?
Just real quick, going back to Shogun, he's on a 3-fight win streak, by the way.
Who's he fought? Who's the last 3 people he fought?
He fought the Gian Vellante guy, and he beat that guy TKO. That's that Chris Weidman.
Oh, Josias Vellante or whatever. Yeah.
Chris Weidman's
yeah.
guys.
The
Yeah,
New
that
Yorkers.
guy was good too.
Okay.
Corey Anderson, pretty good guy.
No.
That's another one of their guys too, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I think he is too. And then Little Nog.
Well,
That's going to happen.
Little Nog was still pretty, pretty heavy hands and stuff like that. But
Sure.
I think people would much rather see Lyoto and Vitor than a Shogun 3. So I'm just putting that out there. Sean Shelby, if you're listening, come on, man, hook it up. Now, big controversy after Damian Maia fight. Colby Covington. I can't remember what he said. I just remember him saying, this place is a hellhole,
Yep.
and you people are animals, and F you, and all that. And then he just walked off.
It's not an
And
easy
they
way to get a
literally
job.
Had to cover him and get him out of there.
Get
They
him
had
out.
the police escort him.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to take it around the horn. I'm going to put this out there. Personally, I don't like when they start chanting, you're going to die, you're going to die. I mean, come on, man. You got to have a little respect for the fighters or whatever. The Brazilians do that when there's somebody other than Brazilian in there. I don't think that's cool. You got to show a little bit of respect or whatever, just because the sport itself, people still think that they're animals and stuff like that. I'm trying to get it to be a little bit more professional. But when you antagonize them and say this place is a hellhole, and you guys, that's going to be expected. He put out a tweet, right, that they had to post guards at his door because people wanted to kill him. Well, you got to keep your mouth shut, dude.
Yeah.
Come on, man. So real quick, we'll go to Aaron first. Give us your thoughts on that. I think he should have just kept his mouth shut. When he went home, said, "Look, I feel they were a little bit disrespectful. I didn't like it there. I don't know if I'm going back." What do you think?
I mean, I don't care. I don't care.
I like
mean,
that.
Go ahead, say whatever you want, but you're going to get the repercussions.
Right.
And I mean, I do kind of get. I remember who was it? It was, I think it might have been
Chael Sonnen?
Matt Brown.
Oh.
When one time they fought in Brazil and he gave them all the middle finger because they gave the crowd the middle
Right,
finger because
right.
they were. I
They
think
like to boo.
he might do that all the time, but they were saying you're gonna die. They say that. I mean,
Well,
any
that's not a
fighter
term
that's
of
fought
endearment.
in Brazil knows that they do that
Yeah.
though. They do it. They do it to every, especially American fighters.
True.
They
Yell
always-
"Poha, Poha." You know what that means?
They always chant. They always.
We
chant
have words for that.
So I mean, but here's the thing with Colby Covington. Now, Colby Covington is trying. He's trying to make a name for himself.
Right.
So he's trying to play the heel. He's
trying to go the Chael Sonnen route.
exactly. The only thing is that it's annoying most of the fans.
Right.
So and then it's like, okay, well, who the hell is Colby Covington gonna fight?
Right.
Like think about it. Like, who's he gonna fight? Who's in welterweight? I mean, Jesus, if he ever got to Woodley would murder him.
I think that's why, because he
Like,
called out Woodley after that. I think that's what he was
Yeah.
looking for. But
It's-
there's no way he's
But
ready
as,
for
Woodley's
as
an
far
action
as,
figure.
All right.
his words about Brazil, if I were him, I wouldn't, because eventually you're probably going to have to come back to Brazil and fight.
Sure,
you
sure.
know.
But I just don't like it because I want the sport to be a little bit more professional, because it already has this stigma that it's when we had Eric Apple, remember, he's like, before it used to be just you had to be a really badass dude to be a UFC fighter, and now everybody's in there.
Yep.
So give us your thoughts on that. I think he shouldn't have done that. What do you think?
Like Aaron, I have to agree with Aaron.
Who cares?
I really don't care.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it happens in every sport, not just, I mean, yeah, I agree with you. Like, if you're trying to look at it more from a martial arts point of view, that crowd shouldn't say anything, and B, he shouldn't have said anything either. But, I mean, not to trail off into different sports here, but look at what happened with Yuli Gurriel of the Astros when he did the
Racial
little,
remarks and,
He's out for 5
gestures
games,
and
yeah.
I mean,
there's
it's
But
everywhere.
Our sport is different because, I mean, think about it. It's like I forgot his name. He was saying there's the one MMA media guy, and he was saying he doesn't like the word violence used in Yeah,
Who said
to
that?
promote
Ariel
fight.
Helwani?
Yes.
Oh, my
yes,
goodness.
Right?
Oh, God.
I mean,
Pues dile ya,
these
cállate,
are-
güey.
these, I mean, what we're putting these people in a cage, and they're gonna punch each other.
Well,
in
yeah.
the
What is
face.
it? What is he going to say?
So-
They're making love.
Yes.
I
Or
mean,
something,
so
you
it's
know?
like I mean, you've been to MMA events. You know, you hear what people are yelling out in the crowd. It's
Yeah,
I,
they-
I don't know.
they annoy me to
so
death.
It's like,
You're right.
You know,
I think it was dumb.
to me, it doesn't bother me personally.
Aaron doesn't care. Miguel
It doesn't
care.
bother me.
What about you?
Well, maybe there's more to look at here. Here's a guy with a chip on his shoulder, maybe trying to make a name for himself.
Right.
He doesn't have a lot to say because that's not even smart. Okay, so it is what it is.
Yeah, it's not smart. Yeah, I
he didn't
agree.
make himself look any brighter, any better, and he's not any more marketable. So probably not the greatest move.
Yeah.
As far as the sport itself being a legitimate thing, I mean, we've got martial artists, true martial artists. We've got fighters. We're two very different animals, and we got athletes now.
Right.
People that are athletically inclined doing this now. And it's changed. And we do have a lot of no-namers, and we have a lot of people that don't have a history or a background in fighting that are getting to high-level fights really, really quick. So it's changing. I don't necessarily like it. It doesn't really lend for me to get excited about that next fight because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if I'm going to enjoy it. It's going to be a good card or it's going to be a bunch of nobodies because they put this together in Norway
Right.
and they pulled a bunch of locals in.
We,
and you know what I mean?
Exactly what we talked about
So
with Eric.
that-
Allen.
I was up-
Sometimes
it
those are
isn't
the best
what-
cards, though.
Yeah.
Because I was actually about to say that, well, like how Eric Apple mentioned that, you know, and I totally
Just
agree.
getting watered
And
down.
in my opinion, the biggest athlete that is definitely nowhere near a fighter is fighting in probably one of the hottest cards this upcoming weekend, and that's GSP.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
the dude's bad. There's no doubt about it.
Sure.
I don't think he's a fighter because
He's a
the guy is
gymnast.
softer than what's that little teddy bear from that softener commercial?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh my
Snuggle
goodness,
soft.
Snuggle Bear.
Dude, yes.
But he can go. I mean, there's
But he
no-
can
there's
go,
no
but he's
threat.
athletic, you know?
Yeah.
Well,
Well, it remains to be seen.
let's see if he comes back any different.
Yeah.
Let's see if he
Yeah,
changes
you're right.
that style.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
He's been off for a while. Now, I thought Pedro Munhoz looked amazing. That choke.
Yeah.
it
Oh,
wasn't
man.
even one-handed.
Hey,
He got it.
Yeah.
real quick, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Again, with Pedro Munoz, shout out to Chad
Chad George.
Chad George.
Chad George's
yeah,
guys, man.
That's right. You know, that's
Yeah.
that's his guy.
Yeah, Chad's
He
a good
beat,
dude.
Justin Scoggins with the one-arm guillotine or whatever. It was just the way he caught it.
He
Just
sunk
bam.
it in deep, and then once
Yeah.
it's trapped, you can almost not pull it out. You actually have to take a step back, get some
Mm-hmm.
space, and then you can release. If you get it in tight like that, yeah.
So he's on the rise. I see at least a top 10 opponent for Pedro Munhoz
Yep.
coming up in the near future. Would you agree, Aaron Moro?
Yeah, I agree. I actually had Font on that fight.
What is wrong with you?
What?
What? Hey,
You
man.
cannot go
He's
against
he's
Chad George and Pedro Munhoz.
I apologize, Chad. I had no idea. I'm sorry. Too many fights.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was a good matchup or whatever, but he just caught him. I mean, there was
That was
nothing
great.
he could do.
Yeah.
It was awesome. But the fight, Jim Miller fight or whatever, I knew it was going to go that way because
Sure.
he just grinds
Oh,
it out.
dude.
Whatever. We'll go
He's a
back to
fighter.
that.
Going back to-
We'll talk
Oh
about
yeah,
it.
different
going back
styles,
to
he's
fighters.
a
Yeah,
fighter.
Jim Miller's a scrapper.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Well, his brother, it's weird because it seems like one brother is always a little bit different than the other because Dan Miller seems to be a little more stand-up-ish or whatever,
Sure.
but Jim Miller just goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's another dude that's on the cusp. Where does he go from here?
I was about to say, man, that's another dude that seems he's on his way out.
Yeah.
Is this the challenge that the UFC has before them? Is that they can't put people, they can't get those matches together? Are too many people going over to Bellator?
I
Right?
What do you mean?
I don't know.
You
I
mean like the
We just don't have exciting fights. I'm more excited to see some of the Bellator fights sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
don't. Just some of the matchups are more interesting, I would say, because
Really?
maybe they're not as
I-
flooded
really,
and
lately?
watered down.
I mean, I watch
so
all the
many
Bellator
fighters.
fights, but I think like that Poland card that we just had.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That was a pretty good card, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those people come from that background. They grind it
Do you
out.
Well-
think that UFC is? I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Do
You're
you-
talking to Aaron, and that bar is set
I want to
very
know.
high.
I want to know.
So okay, we have like 11 weeks, eight more weeks worth of fights. I mean, every weekend we have a UFC.
Just about.
So do you think that UFC is putting out too many fights that aren't not enough quality?
I think so. I think so personally. I
Would you
used to
rather-
get
think so, too.
excited.
Would
I
you
think so,
rather have
too.
a fight card every weekend, or would you rather have one or two pay-per-views per month?
I would say
Less.
maybe
a quality versus quantity.
Yeah, a big show on Fox Sports 1 and then a big pay-per-view.
I was just about to say that. A
I
big
think so.
pay-per-view
'Cause
and then a fight night. Like
Yeah.
a good fight night that'll lead
Exactly.
straight into like that killer pay-per-view.
Because we got Tough, we got the Fox Sports, we got the pay-per-view, we got Bellator, we got King of the... We got
And they got that
every week we
contender
got
thing,
4 or
yeah.
5 different,
Exactly. And then you got to go to Fight Pass to
And
watch
then our
this
homies
fight
are
and all
fighting
that.
locally. We go out and watch them. You know what I mean?
But
It's a lot going on.
Speaking of that, okay, if the Dodgers win tomorrow, that's
Oh,
going to put the
dude.
World Series on Wednesday. I have been waiting to see Christina Marks fight for now 2 weeks. If the World Series goes to Wednesday, they're going to preempt the Ultimate Fighter.
Oh, my
again.
God.
You just
And
got
that's
to do
gonna
a split screen, Favi.
No, well, they don't show it at all.
Oh, they won't show it, okay.
Yeah,
They
they
didn't
don't
show
show
it
it.
last week.
That's
because
pretty annoying.
They
went
don't
into
even
the
put it
game.
to FS2 or
No.
anything. Yeah.
So I'm hoping, well, no, because that means Dodgers will lose. So if the Dodgers win, it's going to go to the 7th game, and everybody's going to watch that. So
Let's hope they win, and let's hope we go to the 7th.
let me eat real quick.
Parties at Miguel's
Fox
house, by the way.
Sports. Let's put it on Fox Sports too, man. Okay, we can go back and forth or whatever.
You know what? That fight
Christina
can wait.
Marks-
The Dodgers come before.
Christina Marks is my dark horse.
Christina,
pick.
sorry, girl. You're
So
going to have to
let's-
wait.
Let's
I like
get it
her.
on.
I like her. I like her style. I
Yeah,
like
she's-
watching her.
She's vicious, dude.
She
I'm
is, and she
telling you,
needs to
man,
get
she
noticed
can
and
go.
she
I
can
don't
go
know
to the
what
big
happens,
show.
but we'll see. Now, okay, real quick before we get on to this next fight, because this is one I want to talk about quite a bit. For the people listening to us and watching us, don't forget you're here. You're at Full Contact Fanatics. We're here every Monday usually from 8 to about 9:15 or so. Talk a little UFC right now. Plenty to talk about, so we'll get into that. But don't forget, you can go to onthemat.com, check out all the latest information and details and videos and stuff that they have up there, as well as myluckygi.com. If you were with us at the beginning, you could see that little commercial that we shot over at Affliction. We're really starting to move and get up. I got 1 million calls after that.
Yep.
People that I've been trying to get a hold of.
And those
All of a sudden,
Hey,
they
man,
want to
well,
come
hey,
on the
can you do that for
show.
us, bro? You need us to pick the
Absolutely.
gym or what's up? We're like, yeah, dude, we've been calling you
That's
for a
right.
couple months. So we're now just putting that out. People see
Yep.
what the capabilities are. So make sure you check that out, myluckygi.com. And don't forget Gym Crashers. We did a special edition over there at Affliction, as well as shooting all the commercials and everything over there. So make sure you check out Gym Crashers as well. Got me, got Dondo, Miguel's on mic over there. We're talking a little
Yep.
UFC. And, of course, Aaron Muro, who's, talk a little bit about UFC as far as animalistic integrity or whatever is the name we're talking about. Now,
More violence.
let me tell you something. They took Marlon Chito Vera out there to go fight John
Cheeto.
Linkler.
Cheeto did good, dude.
No, come on, Dondo. What are you talking about, man?
Tell me your thoughts.
Lineker
Yeah.
got the body work on
That,
him,
but see,
man.
that fight could have been, what's her name? Heather Hunt?
Heather Hardy?
Heather Hardy and Williams, what was her name? Katie Williams or
Oh,
whatever?
Christina Williams, yeah.
That fight could have been that fight because Chito had the reach. I mean, he could throw a couple of shots, boom, hit him with the right, but he kept letting him come in. That's why Linkler was hitting him into the butt, and he would just cover up, and he kept getting up against the cage. He didn't keep him out in the middle, or whatever. I don't know what happened on that fight. Chito could have just completely annihilated that dude if he would have stayed on the outside, kept jabbing and throwing the punches.
Maybe I need to
And
rewatch it.
he had the just like that fight, just like Katie Williams and Heather Hardy or
I
whatever.
mean, I can't even. I'm sorry, but I can't compare him to Heather Hardy because that's
Well,
just no. I'm sorry,
Not-
Heather
not-
Hardy, but
I'm not saying he would do
you
that to
know.
him, but that's the way he should have fought him. He had the size, he had the reach,
He
you know,
did.
everything. He could have
Yes.
really did. So when he came back to the corner, I'm going, please tell him to keep him in the middle of that cage. First of all, that cage is 50 miles long. Keep him at distance and just keep pecking away, dude. You're going to cut him up. He's going to slow down, and you're going to get him. But he back up, get up against the cage. And Linkler, when he's coming, he's bringing heat, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
He's bringing
Yeah,
heat.
he does.
And
Well-
you could, even when he was hitting him
Yeah.
on the arms, you could see
Do you think maybe
he was
it's
doing damage.
because we know he's a skilled fighter? He's got the body type to do more damage. Maybe it's a gas tank issue.
I don't think
The
so.
time
I
that
just
you hold
think he-
back is because you're gassed.
To me, it looked like he felt that power and he didn't want to feel it again. So he kept backing up and he kept coming instead of staying and throwing the jab and hitting him with the right.
You got to match
and
power
keeping
for
him
power.
at
You can't run from
distance.
it.
He wasn't putting any pressure on him at all.
No,
Yeah.
he fighting backwards, kept moving back, and I was like, oh my God, what are you doing? Casey Halstead, tell him something, help, or whatever, because he was out there with them. Close the distance, do your jiu-jitsu, something, not just, what he was doing.
Yeah.
So,
Give us the final.
so Linkler ends up getting it. What's going on next door, man?
Yeah,
They got
what?
some porno shoots over there going on or what?
Oh, if they do, I'm coming over.
Something ain't right. So John Linkler gets a 3-round
We just lost
unanimous
our
decision.
producer.
And like Aaron was saying,
Actually, I
he
thought
was-
Cheeto got that. I didn't realize. So yeah,
No,
I
he-
mixed
he
it up.
lost 3-round unanimous.
Okay.
So, I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's
Dude, I
okay.
don't
There's
mean to
lots
get
of
heated,
fights.
but when you have the skill
Yeah.
and the talent to do the damage, and it just goes
And the
completely
team behind him too.
exactly, and I'm like, come on, you know,
Yeah.
and it just didn't happen. So, Linkletter, what's his name?
Lineker.
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 He gets a 3-round unanimous. Moving up to 135 completely made him much more better. He's not cutting weight and killing himself and stuff like that. But he's in the same weight class as like T.J. Dillashaw, Cody Gallbreath, guys like that. I think I wouldn't mind seeing him up against one of those guys because they're a little bit
Lineker?
small. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're a little bit smaller. They're not
Yeah.
as tall and long as Chito. But just from that fight right there, I think Chito could do so much better. But Linkler got the unanimous decision. So, top 5 opponent for him next?
For Lineker,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where he would be in the
Who's
rankings
left? Dominic
now.
Cruz? Is he still relevant in the 135 division? or-
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. I
He
would
hasn't
like to see,
fought-
I'd
More
like
than
to see him
relevant.
fight Dominic Cruz.
I wonder if his knees are working. What's going on with him?
No. He's not
He's got
hurt.
that. He's got the flat foot syndrome.
oh, is
He
it
needs some-
plantar fasciitis?
Yeah,
or
he needs some
whatever?
Dr. Scholl's.
Okay.
What? Hey.
What?
Yeah.
He does. I know, but
Well, dude, there's a
that-
kiosk at Walgreens. Just go up there, put your foot. Boom, bácatelas,
I
y se
can't even.
yeah, no problem. Dominic, come on, man. I think people would pay to see Dominic Cruz.
I'm not
against,
clowning the guy. I'm just
Linkler.
saying that's what he's got.
No,
Yeah,
it's
no,
true,
they
it's
will.
true. I know.
Yeah, I think
He's
that
still-
we-
he
I
can
think,
still-
I
oh,
think
yeah.
I
I'll
would
watch
take
him all
I would
day.
take Cruz in that fight for
Yeah.
sure. So
See, but Cruz would come with that hit and run.
Yeah.
He'd do some damage, get in and out, and I think he would. I think he'd frustrate him. And then who else is in that division, Robert?
Cody Garbrandt.
Shaw, Rafael Sanso.
Dos Santos?
oh yeah. Wait.
Sanso.
Oh, Asunciao.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sanso.
Okay.
You got Jimmy Rivera. Then Lineker's after that.
Oh,
then
dude, that's a stacked division.
Aljamain
It really is.
Well,
Sterling.
Jimmy
Yeah.
Rivera is fighting
Yeah.
Cruz at 18th UFC 218.
Right.
You got Dodson still in there, and Marlon Moraes.
Man, that's a stack. Well, dude, they could make a lot of matchups in there.
Yeah.
Sean Selby, let's go, buddy. Get him in there. He 3-round unanimous, didn't take very much punishment or whatever. Let's hook it up. Now, do they have Chito Vera at all ranked in that top 15? 13?
Yeah.
No, that's Rob Font.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Well, they looked
12.
pretty.
12.
Is that him?
Yeah.
Okay, so that might move him down a little bit, which I don't think that's going to hurt him that much. But let's get him another fight. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I think that didn't prove what he can do. So we'll definitely look forward to that. I was killing myself.
What about the two
watching that
guys
fight.
from the Tough Show?
Actually,
Weight
they
class-
moved Pedro Munoz in front of
Are they
Vera.
135ers?
Dillashaw and Gallbreath?
No, the guys from the Tough Show right now that are coaching the girls.
Oh no. They're
That's 155.
Those are
155.
And what's his name? Yeah.
There he is. Marlon Chito Vera.
So that lost to Lineker, and then he had 3 wins before that. Is that what that was?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, see, come on, man. Anyways, I'm sorry. I don't mean to get heated, but I was so like I had TMJ because I was clenching my teeth. I was like, dude, keep him out. Oh, I just really.
TMJ.
I like Lineker.
Yeah. Well, when all props to him when he got when he saw he was doing that, he was coming with some heat. I mean, you could
I love
see
it, dude. He
was
will
just
legit
coming.
give
Yeah,
you a body work,
he
man.
was coming with a lot of heat. So
Yeah.
props to him. But the other fight, did you see Vincente Luke against Nico Price?
Yes.
Because Nico Price did some damage to Alan Joban.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, man, this guy's got something here. But this Vincent Luke, his boxing was amazing.
Yeah.
Dude, Nico Price got
Yeah, he was catching him at every stop, every corner. He was doing damage. Finally went to the ground. He ended up getting a Darce. As soon as he locked up that Darce, and he flipped him over.
Yep.
As soon as he went to his back, it was
It's
over.
in tight, yeah.
So
Yeah.
not only did he hit, were his boxing skills really good. I mean, he did what I wanted Chico to do. He was just throwing punches, not just 1 or 2. He was throwing combos. He was coming in, catching him at every corner. It was just unbelievable,
That's great.
especially against a dude like that.
Yeah.
So he gets the Darce choke. I think this Vincente Luke's going to do, because this dude's been flying under the radar. I think this dude's gonna do some damage.
If
What
you
do
got good
think?
boxing and you got a legit submission game like that, you're dangerous. I mean, especially with the footwork going along with it. Some takedowns are active.
Yeah.
You know?
It was amazing. I never even heard of this dude.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you.
That's
but
why I was kind of quiet on my way, babe.
after that fight, I was like, wow. I mean, that guy came
Yeah,
in some damage.
round 2.
Would you agree?
Yeah, yeah.
So
yeah.
what do you think's next for Vincent and Luke?
I don't know which division is that.
What division is Nico Price and Vincent and Luke? I think what's Alan Joban? 205?
No.
75, I think.
No,
No,
is
no.
he a 185 or 205?
Oh, are they
No,
middleweight?
Alan Jabon's 170.
Or yeah, 170. Yeah, that's
Oh,
Alan
they're
Jabon.
welterweight. Oh,
Okay, well, dude,
They're
man,
big
Vincent
boys.
and Luke might do some damage in that 170-pound division.
They're big boys, yeah.
Well, remember that other weirdo dude is climbing the way up too. What's his name? The flamboyant guy.
Weirdo dude, the guy with the crazy haircut that plays for the Houston Astros.
Oh wait, are you talking
Oh,
about
God.
Mike Perry?
The Cuban
Mike
guy?
Perry.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
Till called him out, right? The guy who
Where-
just beat Cerrone.
Darren Till?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he called him out.
Oh,
So they
good
might make
God.
that first. So definitely look forward to that. Who's in that division 170 besides Pierre and all them?
Pierre.
Well, there's
Jorge
There's-
St. Pierre.
Woodley, there's Thompson, there's
50. Wait.
I think those are
Mike is a
155ers, dude.
No.
Yeah.
Mike?
Nico Price and them?
Yeah. Because I know
Because
Ju-
he fought Alan Joban. Huh?
and Alan Jubon beat Mike Perry.
Alan Jabon is 170.
Yeah, so he's in the 170-pound division.
But he also is ranked 31. But he's in 2 different divisions.
Could
Well,
be.
regardless, Vincent and Luke looked like a world beater on that. I mean, it was amazing. So props to him. So I thought it was cool. I thought the fights leading up to the main event were great. I think the main event left a little bit to be desired, but it's cool. That's cool. I thought for sure I wasn't going to get to see this upcoming pay-per-view because Nicolette was booked for a wrestling show and she wanted to go with her, but that got canceled. I feel so bad. But now I'm going to check this out. Jorge St. Pierre and Michael Bisping, ani madre way. I'm looking forward to TJ Dillashaw against Cody Gallbreath. I think he's going to wreck TJ Dillashaw. For some reason,
really.
I actually think so as
Yeah.
well.
I don't
No.
I don't want to take anything away from TJ Dillashaw because when you can beat Henan Barra, we had Gerson Shilipakatelas right here.
But Henry Burrell hasn't
With
been the
And
top.
Yeah,
contender
but
in a while.
when you spar, I just brain farted. What's the boxer's name? Vasily Lomachenko.
yeah.
And you drop your hands, and the dude just completely lights you up. Get the fuck out of here.
You know he's
he?
Dillashaw. Don't start with me. Dillashaw is training with Jason Perillo.
oh, is that right?
Yeah,
Oh, news to me. When did this come about?
I watch stuff.
Man,
I watched
No, so did he turncoat Dwayne Ludwig too?
is he on tour?
likes
or
to jump
what's going on
ship.
with that?
Oh yeah.
Saw they were doing an interview with him and Michael Bisping.
Wow.
He likes
And
to jump
yeah,
ship.
he's training with Jason Perillo.
Wow, I think that's going to benefit him, but I still think he's just going to get
Wait,
wrecked.
what, didn't he leave and go with Bang? Is that when that what the
Yeah,
argument
that was a whole
He was
thing.
with Bang for a
man.
while.
Yeah, that was a
And
whole
now he
big
jumped ship
controversy.
again?
It looks like it. Who knows?
No,
I
I
thought
don't think
he
he's
jumped
jumping.
ship.
Yeah.
Well, Team Elevation isn't around anymore.
So
and
are-
that's where he had gone. He had gone to Team Elevation. Team Elevation is no more.
What's wrong with them? What? I'm going with Gallbreath. Jason Perillo, whatever. I think he's just coming to kill somebody. Dondo,
Yeah, Cody Garbrandt.
Miguel,
Garbrandt.
Robert.
Dillashaw.
Oh, what is
Dillashaw,
wrong with you?
Dillashaw. I'm gonna go on record. Dillashaw all day.
He's a lost
Well,
soul.
let's-
he's
No.
lost.
Let's bet some of those
he's
He's
future
lost in the
paychecks.
sea of emotion.
He is a cerebral fighter, and Garbrandt is not. That's the difference. He's a very smart, intelligent fighter. And
He's a good- I mean, he's a good
look,
fighter, no
Garbrandt,
doubt.
Garbrandt has he has strong hands.
Mm-hmm.
He's got some raw power, but Dillashaw is gonna
I know,
outsmart
but just
this guy.
after seeing what he did to Dominic Cruz, I mean, Cruz had nothing for him.
I honestly think that Cruz took too much emotion into it.
I honestly think it was
You
a
know.
plantar fasciitis. What about yourself?
Dr. Scholl's, damn
Yes,
it.
some may, right. But well, the best thing is we get to see it.
The reason why I'm going with Dillashaw is because Garbrandt has bad back problems. Very, very bad back problems. Very, very bad.
Is he
Yep.
suffering?
Like
Yep.
he could be.
Yep.
He should be. He could be retired if
But from
he doesn't
what?
get it.
What is he doing to mess his back up?
I don't know, maybe just wrestling all
Because he
his
was
life.
just at
and-
King's MMA not too long ago, right?
Yeah, but I
Working
mean,
out over there?
he was sent to Dana
Yeah,
White
but
sent it to a specialist
training and
overseas.
fighting are two different things.
Since
Yep,
in Germany,
to
just to get
have
that
injections.
Yeah,
They
Yeah.
might have fixed it.
so
Forget it. You just,
They might have
you just-
fixed it.
You just
Okay,
took
yeah.
all the wind out of my
Let's-
sails. Thanks a lot, Robert.
sorry. I'll just be honest. I mean, that's why I'm going with Dillashaw. Well, if you watch Dillashaw's last fight, right, he looked like Cruz in prime.
Mm-hmm.
That style. His takedowns were fluid. The combinations were there. His movement was better. He looked like Cruz when Cruz was at peak before
Exactly.
the knee injuries.
Agreed. I
So
completely
that's what
agree.
I'm worried about. If Dillashaw can pull off that same type of speed along and with his mixing his
It's gonna
things
be
up,
on.
I don't know if Garbrantt's going to be able to hit him. I do think Cruz lost a step when he did fight Garbrandt the
Well,
last
see,
time.
now I didn't know
Yeah.
about the back problems. I just dropped 1,000 on Galbraith, and now he's.
I'm
got
still
back
going to take
problems.
Cody Garbrandt.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, man. Now, and quick side note before we get on to news: does anybody here think Rose Namajunas has any chance against Joanna Jurczyk?
I like Rose
Absolutely,
Namajunas.
yes.
What?
What? No, I'm
What
taking.
is wrong with you?
Girl power.
I
Tell us
love-
what you think.
I love Joanna, but I think we're getting ready for a new champ.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
What does she bring to the table that could possibly pose a threat to Joanna?
Hey, you know what? I'm taking Rose by submission, man.
So
I
get her to the
am.
ground?
Yeah.
And you're right. I
she's
think
gonna
so.
Get her to the
If
ground.
you can get her to the ground, if you can close
You
those,
know what? I'm
those
writing this
angles,
down
you can
because I don't know what's
beat
wrong
that
with you
footwork
people.
and not get all
So-
that damage from those strikes, maybe.
Aaron and
And let's look at Joanna for a
Who's
minute.
Rose's
okay?
camp?
Now, why has
Oh, I
she
coulda grabbed
not
that.
been knocking people out?
who?
Okay, Joanna. She's all of
'Cause she doesn't
lately.
want
All her fights go to decision. But that's ridiculous. Why would you not want to knock someone out? Knock them out.
Miguel,
Yo,
are you going with Joanna or are you going with Rose Namajunas?
I'm gonna take a stab at Namajunas.
Oh my goodness.
Whatever.
Namajunas.
What is wrong with you people?
Pat Barry's girlfriend. That's who I'm going for.
Robert?
I'm going to stick with JJ.
Thank
I
you.
think
JJ,
I think
yeah.
I think Johanna. Here's the
I think
thing.
he's right. I don't think anybody's going to.
Rose's
I'll
only
work her.
chance is submission by scramble.
Yes.
That's it. It's submission by scramble by a off position that she catches. She catches JJ,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not going to happen because Johanna
She's
just does
gonna,
what she does.
She's going to beat her and then bam with the kicks and all that. Rose is going to get frustrated.
She'll be a dominant champ for a while.
She's going to try to shoot, maybe get to the ground, and she's going to catch a knee right in the face, and it's going to be over. I'm telling you.
I think
That-
Rose is more of an awkward fighter than Joanna is used to.
She'll throw the side kicks. Yeah, she'll try to throw similar like Kung Lee style stuff every once in a while.
Right.
But the thing is, the difference between the more experienced striker is flinch.
Right.
The more you see, the more you stand in front of someone, you can tell they don't fall for the BS.
Right.
They that's what I noticed because like I could throw all kinds of weird stuff at Thomas Kenny and he just look at me and like not move. And then when I actually commit to a punch, I never get there because I got punched first. And even that guy William Byrd, dude, that guy was legit. You remember that dude that used to come every once in a while? Will Byrd, Beastwood. They used to call him Beastwood. I think it was Colin Oyama's dude. That guy was a monster.
And Joanna doesn't back up. She's just going to stay, and she's gonna catch punches and then come right back.
And her counter
You know what I mean?
wrestling
She
is
just-
amazing.
She just keeps coming. She just keeps going forward, man. There's no.
She has a good game.
there's
There's no two ways
yeah.
about it.
So
She's the standout.
We'll see what happens. The best part is going to be a slamming pay per view. Hopefully, put your money down. You're going to get your money's worth. I think you will. Now, real quick before we get out of here, I want to do a couple things of news. That's why I got Aaron Mortal here with us. Ronda Rousey is slated to be at WrestleMania. She is at the Performance Center as we speak, training. Supposedly, it's all under wraps or whatever. They got to bring her out pretty soon because they're going to want to get the ticket sales. So, from what they say, it's Ronda, Marina Shafir, and Shayna Baszler. I don't know what's up with Jasmine Duke. I don't know if she's training for wrestling or whatever. That's supposed to be. I think this is the stupidest thing. I'm sorry. I love wrestling, pro wrestling. I love WWE. I love Ronda, but I think that is the dumbest thing ever. What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah.
She doesn't need the money. You know, I don't know if it's just like something like she's like, oh, I think this will be cool or whatever. But she was so dominant, and the way she went, I just wanted her to have one more fight. I don't care who it's against, so that she could redeem herself and go out as the Hall of Famer
How
that
would she
she
redeem
is.
herself though? If she's gonna redeem herself, then she has to fight the champion. That's the only way to redeem yourself. Like,
Not if she comes back and has one win, people will kind of.
I would like to
"All right,
see
cool,
her
good."
rely on that judo base that she has, not fall in love with the hands that she has proven that she doesn't have. Learn how to use her footwork, learn how to close the distance, and get solid takedowns, and not just throws that people are already
Yeah.
learning how to avoid and to counter.
Yeah, but
It's
look at Damian Maya.
But she's never
why
gonna
his
be a
last
boxer.
his last couple fights, he couldn't get any takedowns.
Mhm.
I mean, so what? The game is changing. I mean, this is like the season of strikers. What is she gonna do if she comes back? Who is she gonna fight?
But it's like taking the best talent in the world and just throwing it away.
I
Well,
agree.
what happened,
I-
with
I
what happened to
love
Anderson
Rousey.
Silva?
I'm
We've
a huge
seen this
fan,
before,
so.
right? Anderson Silva had to come back from some pretty severe damage, and he's not been the same since.
Right.
No, it doesn't. I love to watch the guy fight, but it just isn't that dominant fighter.
Just
I would
one
love to
more.
watch her fight, but I really don't want. I don't want to watch her in WWE.
No,
That's for sure.
neither do I.
Well, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
thing with a lot of those things is you can never beat Father Time. He always wins.
Right.
So I
Yeah,
mean, even though
everybody
they
gets old and things
yeah,
happen, but
yeah, they slow down.
it's not like she doesn't have one good fight left.
Oh,
in
no,
her.
no,
I mean,
Ro-
it's
Ro-
far from that. Just one fight, come back, show what you could do. Like you said, go back to the judo, what got you to the promised land in
That's
the first
right.
place, and then go out like that. Then go do WWE. I don't care.
But remember, it's not
one
just
more fight.
Father Time that's ticking on her. It's also her baby making that's
Man,
ticking
there's
too.
plenty of time for that, man.
Hey.
How's she gonna do pro wrestling if she's baby making?
Yeah.
She said it herself that she wanted to make some babies. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
whatever, dude.
No,
I love
no,
to practice.
Go do that or go.
Hey, you know what? Props to Travis Happy Brown because that run, she is sprung. Did you see she put out a video or somebody? She was at a country concert or something with Travis, and she just looking at him like, oh my goodness. I was like, this girl is sprung.
That happens.
Yeah, no doubt. So I don't know if that's got something to do with. She's like, you know what? I had enough. I got my man. You know, something. Yeah, you know.
Well, that's what they said. They she just wants to
Baby heat.
disappear
All right, there you go.
and just have a ranch and just have animals.
Okay,
and
well if
hunt
that's
and
the
all
case,
that
just
shit.
go for it, man. But come on, man.
Maybe she wants a really, really big $50 million ranch, so she makes $50 million from WWE first.
Yeah, something.
There's
man.
money.
I
there.
don't want to see her in WWE, and personally, I never really liked her with her 4 horsewomen.
Yeah,
or
I thought that
whatever,
was kinda-
whatever that was.
That was kind of funky or whatever.
Those
but
chicks sucked.
Yeah. Yeah, because they nothing for nothing. Why?
They didn't blaze the trail she assumed they would.
I've met
Yeah.
Shayna Baszler at AWS show and talked to her. She's cool. I mean,
no,
or
but she
whatever.
built the house.
and she's been around for a while.
Longer than all the
but
girls.
the other two, just because you hang around with Ronda, don't mean
Yeah.
you know.
No.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
No.
So, but hey, whatever.
But Shayna
Maurice,
Baszler
she
built the
ended up,
house. Come on.
Being with Roderick Strong and has a baby from him, and he's in WWE, so maybe it's just a whole big family thing or whatever. Who knows? But I just was hoping she would get one more fight out of it. So, okay, go and do your thing. I mean, who are we to say what you should do and what you shouldn't do?
Well, she has
Before
fans,
we
and she
end,
and
like,
she was the
what
champion.
about
You know.
this featherweight division that we have for women in the UFC with no rankings and one person, and it's been there for like a year now. So we have Cyborg's division. What are they gonna do with that?
Well, when you have a division
Yeah.
where nobody wants to fight
The champ.
person, what are you gonna do?
Maybe she should do E. WWE.
First of all, we don't want to see the first death in WWE or whatever. So, I mean, it's a shame. It's a shame. They should be. Pretty soon they're gonna start bringing like Dutch kickboxers from Glory to fight her in the UFC, or maybe some girls from Japan who don't know any better, or whatever. But
Yeah, the problem with that is that they're not skilled in everything else, the takedowns, the wrestling, the jiu-jitsu, the submissions.
Well, not Dutch. The Dutch MMA is pretty good. Yeah,
something.
yeah, they're pretty good.
But I don't know. Maybe they're just having problems finding somebody to fight her. Well,
we don't have very many.
Duchess that didn't want to fight her.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
right.
Yeah.
When you give up the belt because you don't want to fight somebody, that something ain't right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
What are we looking at? I mean, is she an anomaly? I mean, in my opinion, yeah. When I look at her physique, when I look at her
yeah,
attack,
she's just on another level, man.
there's something going on there. I mean, what do you say to that? How did she get there? And where do we get that next person that will be at that level?
Yeah.
Will there ever be one?
it's amazing. Well, maybe
Is that
we
a
can
lot
get-
of testosterone? Is what I'm saying. She was already caught once. I know she's not
well, no,
guilty
she-
now.
Well, she's supposed to fight Holly Holm, but Holly wanted her tested 18 times in, a month and a
Well,
half.
because
before
there's
she-
ways to sneak
well,
in.
it came out like the USADA testing is you can see it online, and I think what happened was Cyborg's manager, he does all of her tweeting and all that
Right.
crap, right? And he came out and said, well, I want to know how many times she's been tested. I've been tested this many times, and
Yeah.
actually Holly Holm was tested more than than Cyborg was.
That's
Just
absurd.
fight. Come
That's
on,
absurd,
man.
though.
Dude, can you imagine if Holly Holm knocked out Cyborg Santos or Cyborg Justino or whatever? That would re-put her on the map just like it did Ronda.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, as a world beater.
And
I
that's
mean, it's not going to happen, but, it's there.
That's not impossible though.
No, not at all.
She has a shot. She has
Sure.
a shot.
Nobody thought she had a shot against Ronda.
Well,
so.
I did.
Yeah, Robert called it.
Did
I
you
made
really?
a
Yeah.
lot of
Don't,
money.
don't stick up for him,
Oh,
man.
man.
No, I don't stick up for him because he drives me crazy. So
Oh, yeah.
You know? Exactly.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll see what happens. But speaking of that, Raquel Pennington suffered a broken leg
Ooh.
in a car accident.
I like Rocky.
And they were already in negotiations with her to fight Amanda Nunez.
Yeah.
Wonder what they were up
that
to.
fell by the wayside. That sucks because I would have liked to have seen her.
Yeah, she has
Fight.
heart. She has enough heart. I don't really think Amanda's going to stay at the top very long.
I
I
don't
don't
know,
see
man.
it.
Raquel's got good stand up or whatever, but I don't know. Plus, she's
I don't
got
see it. I
Tisha
don't know how
Tiny
she stayed
Tornado
in.
Torres as a wife, so that
Man,
might
that's some
come into
wrestling.
play. I don't know.
That's some
maybe they're
wrestling.
prac-
I think that's a distraction.
You think
Oh.
so?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
Wow.
okay because they both have,
It's a-
significant others in the same weight classes,
It-
right? Because Nunes is
Oh.
also has a girlfriend.
Yes.
Oh,
in
yeah,
UFC,
that's right. Yeah.
Yes.
So both of them.
Oh,
Yeah.
Raquel and-
so party
Yeah,
in
she
that
lost
weight
her
Yeah,
class.
fight, I
maybe they'll
think.
just all just get
Hey,
along or
like,
something.
okay, well,
Jesus.
Like
get along.
they could have like
I think they go to Iguana.
co-event and maybe
Yeah.
I think they
co-main.
kick it at Iguana
So-
Kelly's.
God.
Amanda's significant other in the same weight class as Tisha
No,
Torres?
yeah, I believe so.
Oh,
Yeah, it's,
Sean Shelby, it's right there for you, bro. Look at that. You could make a whole. Oh
That's
my
right.
goodness, you could make a whole card. Look at. You could put that card together.
Lickety split.
Yeah, you could put Holly Holm and Cyborg Justino Santos, whatever. Man, you could have a whole card. That is the possibilities are. And we talk about watered down and not being able to make matchups. They're right there.
Yeah, they're not
Dude,
choosing
Sean
them.
Shelby, what's up, man? You sleeping? Watch this show. We will get you to the promised land. I'm telling you. People will see it just as a what's the word I'm looking for?
A precursor,
Or
a buffer.
as a like a special attraction or
That's
or
right.
something that's just off the
Oh,
charts.
for that, yeah. It's like Ringling Brothers.
Yeah.
For that, yeah.
at least
Hey, you were talking about us.
that's going to put a different spin on it or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
That'll be one of the best. What's the show that comes on before? All Access
Oh,
or
yeah.
whatever.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, yeah,
that'll
yeah.
be a show in itself.
Countdown or whatever.
Yeah, count
Yeah.
it. That is amazing. Sean Shelby, put that together, bro. We're here for you,
I
man.
love the countdowns. I can watch that
Yeah,
stuff.
Yeah, I love
exactly.
You get a background on people, you know.
Yeah, and
Yep.
yep. Like, you don't look at my woman like that, and it'd just be a whole, everybody just be going
You don't
crazy.
look
Yep.
at a woman like that.
That'd be awesome. Well,
Oh, good God. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to checking out the pay per view. I think it's going to be good. The only thing is, when I do that, for some reason, it lays an egg, and I get highly disappointed. I don't think that's going to happen just with Dillashaw and Galbraith alone. But now that I heard he's got back problems,
Oh, yeah. Pray the
Allegedly.
MMA gods, pray the MMA guys that nobody backs
come on, man,
out.
just let's just do it, man.
Back
get
problems.
Get yourself in the sauna, make the weight. I want to see the fight, please. Now, we only talked about
Back
that. What,
problems.
can you put up the undercard real quick before we get out of here, Robert? Because I know that it's huge as far as main event. Then you got T.J. Dillashaw, Cody Garbrandt. You got Joanna Jędrzejczyk and
There's some sick
Rose
fights on
we
there,
got,
man.
We got Jorge Masvidal.
Can
and
Bisping
Stephen
see straight?
Thompson on the main
Because he looks
too.
like he's cross-eyed, but that doesn't affect his vision.
Who?
Bisping? Yeah.
Well, he got poked in the eye, which
I
is
know
a
that.
whole nother thing. Now, who's what's his name fighting
Hendricks.
Hendricks?
Bo
Jackson?
Bohachina.
Who's that?
I think that's the guy that won the Tough Brazil.
He came over from
Oh, yeah.
Glory.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The Latino tough. Or,
Just
Latin
when I was
American
starting
tough.
to get, acclimated to the fighters, they put this guy in there. I have no idea who that is, and I'm supposed to know, but I don't.
Well, I don't even think Hendricks should be on the main card.
Man, you are a bar setter. A former
Wait, you
UFC
know what?
champion that went over to Jackson Winklejohn or whatever. and
But
was trying
then,
to
how
better
many
himself?
times has the dude missed weight?
Yes.
And I'm not saying.
Yes.
And look, I'm not saying like, oh, a pound or two, whatever, But
He
by a
shaved his-
lot.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling
He
you
can
right
shave
now,
his
too,
6
like,
pounds
Holy
over.
shit. He can
listen
shave his
to
beard for
Hendricks,
5 pounds.
Interviews, man, that guy's punch drunk.
Oh, well, he's fought quite a few different people. What's that? What's the prelims there for me? I can't see too good right
We
there.
got Olin versus Blades.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, that's good.
St. Prue versus Corey Anderson.
That's a good one.
Sahabi
OSP.
versus Ramos.
Corey, Jorge St. Piu, or what's his name?
Saint Pew, fella Pew.
He's-
Oven St. Prue.
Oven St. Prue?
Oven St. Prue is
Yes.
in the Fight Pass prelims.
Yeah, he's
See, I
fighting
agree
Corey
with her.
Anderson.
They should put Hendricks
A la
down there
madre.
and him
Yeah,
up
that-
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Put
yeah.
OSP on the main card.
Yeah.
That's wow.
Oh, because
That-
Cummings was supposed to.
yeah, but he got a staph infection. Or
Yeah, he got a
something?
staph infection.
You
Yeah.
got staph
So go
infection.
up to the regular prelims. What do we got there?
MRSA.
You got James Vick and Duffy.
Okay,
Duffy beat his good defeat was he beat what's his face, right? McGregor.
right.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Then you got Harris and Godbeer.
Oh, this is good. This was supposed to fight. This fight was supposed to happen on, what was the card where Lewis backed out. Derek Lewis backed out, and he ended up. Walt Harris ended up fighting. Oh God, who's the Brazilian that got into it?
Oh,
with-
that one.
Oh, that oh, the Brazilian
Man,
dude.
It's getting late. Okay.
So, well, with the name by Godbeer, how can you go wrong?
That will be a good fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what's the next one? Somebody who
Oleg
missed picture day.
something Chuck.
Oleka Chuck versus Carolaba or Cute Lava.
Híjole de su madre, güey. And then go to the next one.
Then you got Mickey Gall and
Mickey
some-
Gall.
Okay, Mickey
Mickey
Gall.
Gall and Randy Brown.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
that might
That'll
be a little bit of
great
interest
fight.
right there. But that's on the prelims. I kind of
And
agree. we
and
should
Gall's
put-
claim to fame is that he beat that CM Punk dude, right?
Oh, good
Yeah.
God,
Oh,
please.
God.
Just please.
Oh, he also beat what's his face too?
Oh yeah, the blonde
The
dude.
pretty boy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The Karate Kid.
Northcutt.
Yeah, Sage,
I have to say that dude straight handpicked
Hey,
his
man.
opponents. dude.
Sage Northcutt, whatever, he fighter wise or whatever. But I have never. When you see the weigh-ins,
Yeah.
those girls that come out, they're just there and they're kind of like, whatever. That dude came out, they were like this. I mean, they were just glued to that, and all three of them, not just one. And then you could see him going like, and she goes, God dang, look at that. I'm like, so, if you can get him some wins, that guy's going to be a money. It's going to bring a whole different a set of women to come and check out the fight. So
I don't know if it's
props
in him.
to Cody. What's his name?
Yeah, that guy.
Northcutt.
Northcutt.
Sage
Yeah.
Northcutt.
Props to him. And then you get Paige Van Zant. She was pulling a whole different crowd too because they were hot people.
Well,
but
yeah.
they were hot people. But you got to be able to
Oh,
fight.
God.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
Hot people.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
That's what
But-
we need is hot people to bring in the casuals.
Well, I mean,
The face of UFC. Needs to be hot
hey,
people.
it is what it is. I mean, whatever. That's the dumbest thing ever. But when Sage Northcutt comes out and the girls who don't do anything but sit there in bikinis go, God dang. And it's like, wow, he's really doing something. So let's get him on there, man.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
I don't know what
Yeah,
effect
staph
he has, though.
infection.
He's not improving. You know what
Nah,
I mean?
he's
not
doing
changing
commercials.
his
Same thing
He's
too.
doing
I don't
commercials
think
and
he's
stuff.
much of a fighter. He's
Yeah.
more of
No.
like Favi said, a
Athlete.
pretty boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more of a-
Athlete that was able to accomplish a couple things,
Yeah.
but not able to push the game.
Yeah, that's a big difference. Now, real quick, Jorge Masvidal
Oh, that's a
and
good
Stephen
fight.
Thompson. Stephen
Yeah.
Thompson, Wonder Boy, coming at you with kicks, flying
No,
punches.
I'm taking
all over.
Masvidal.
But
all the way
Masvidal, the
game
dude is
bred,
just,
man.
Yep.
dude, he's just nails, man.
I want Masvidal for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
That dude's gonna come with a baseball bat.
He
yeah,
is.
I,
Yep.
I would agree with that.
He's
So we all in
he's-
agreement?
he's
We're
in
going to
there
go with
to kill.
Masvidal?
No,
Yep.
You
Yep.
going with
What?
Stephen Thompson?
Masvidal is one of my favorite fighters. Just one of my favorite guys. Period. But I gotta go Stephen Thompson on this one.
Suck
Like
some
that.
dick, Robert. Nah, no way.
It could happen. I mean, the dude's very awkward and comes with the punches from different angles and stuff like that. So he might.
I
But
think we got to put some money on that
I
one.
just, I don't
It's
see
gonna
it.
be
I
more
don't
of
see
a
it.
more boring fight than everybody expects.
Actually, I think so. Yeah.
It's
Could
gonna
be.
more boring. I think Thompson's gonna stay away from him.
Yeah.
Masvidal's gonna come at him.
Right.
And Thompson's just gonna circle the cage.
Well,
you know which fight I was kind of worried about being boring? You guys are going to just die.
Oh, my
but
goodness.
it's the Dillashaw and
Oh, how
Garber.
dare you.
I'm afraid, man. Because the whole thing has died
It might
down.
not be too far from the truth.
Real quick for the
afraid.
people that are watching us on free admission, this will be Aaron Moro's last day on Full Contact Fanatics. She's just throwing monkey wrenches left and right. The spokes are going, and she's
Back
just
to Danny
jamming that monkey
Cage.
wrench in there or whatever.
I don't care. I want violence.
Hey, I'm cool. I'm cool with it though. I'm looking forward to it. Checking it out or whatever. Hopefully, it's going to be really good, and we'll be able to talk about it when we come back. So, a million thank yous for Aaron for coming down. I can call her at the drop of a dime. She comes down, drops that knowledge on it. We really appreciate it. We need to do some sort of like a cribs or an all access at Aaron Moro's house, because just in some
Aaron
of the
Moore's
pictures,
crib.
just some of the pictures I've seen, she's got posters and stuff from like many different fights.
Oh yeah.
So we would like
I frame
to.
them.
Yeah, we
Whoa.
would definitely like to check that out.
That's home decor.
So maybe we could send Spencer down there to go film some of her posters and stuff like that. So next time,
Spencer.
well, Robert, whoever.
Spencer. So
He's
good
one
send
of our
some
new cameras.
unknown.
We'll take the cameras, Aaron. Don't,
I would just-
don't let him fool you.
I would just like to do, Robert, we'll be able to do like some sort of a cribs or whatever with Aaron Muro, so we could check out some.
We
of
could
her
just watch the
memorabilia.
fights at her house. Fuck it.
Okay.
Oh, I'm in.
Yeah, $10 a head.
So for the people watching this, we will post her address and cell phone number online. Just be looking for that, and we'll check it out. But anyways, running a little bit late. Great to have everybody here. Don't forget, check us out. Full Contact Fanatics every Monday here, 8 to 9:15 or so. Went a little bit late today. Don't forget Gym Crashers. I'm telling you, as I sit here and tell you, got to check that out. Check out Russ Merritt. Then you can check out the big special that we did over at Affliction. It was slamming, man. I had a good time.
Absolutely.
It was,
Yeah, it's fun. It's cool.
we were there for quite a while or whatever, but we got
set up
quite a bit
shop.
of comments. I am fully enlightened. I will never question Robert again as far as filming stuff
Yeah.
or whatever, because it was spot on. Is exactly what I'm talking about. So definitely got to check that out. We'll see everybody here. George Guimaraes is booked for next Monday. The man is just, we got Aaron Muro, who's just a wealth of information, but then we go back with George Guimaraes to the days of passing the guard when it was guys like Maqueco, Jorge Maqueco, Patino, Alan Goes was armbar people, and that's when they just fought in the little calzoncillos, whatever.
Miguel's favorite.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
those things were
I'll
rad.
wear them tomorrow for Halloween.
Hopefully we can pull up some footage from that or whatever so you can see, because it was crazy back then. And he just, every time I have that guy on or we talk whatever, he just got so much because he's been there. And then we got all those questions to post to him about Leoto, about the people from Brazil.
do it.
We'll ask him all that stuff,
Do
and we'll
it.
get it straight from the horse's mouth.
We'll get Leoto in here.
Thank you for,
Yep.
Aaron, for
We'll
coming
have
down.
a drink.
We definitely appreciate it. Miguel,
Ugh.
Miguel will be in this seat next to him. We're going to put
Yep.
Dondo in the producer seat, go
That's
back and forth
right.
a little bit right there.
Yep.
But since it's George Guimaraes, we might get a round table and just have everybody.
That might
Let's
not
do
be a bad
everybody.
idea.
I mean,
Let's
That's
do
Let's
everybody.
do
We'll have
everybody.
to
Yeah.
do that for
And you
sure.
know what? We'll change the camera angles. Hang them from the ceiling.
Absolutely. with the stuff that we can shoot now, we could do pretty much anything. So
Let's
we'll
get
definitely.
that gadget that Spencer was carrying.
Absolutely. Yeah. Just have Spencer come in here and walk
The
around.
special
with it, so we
gadget.
can get all kinds of different shots. So don't forget, check
You
us
get
out
ball
next
angled.
Monday right here, 8 p.m. Pacific. People go, why do you put PST on that? That's Pacific Standard Time. And
Yeah.
they're like, what's that?
Oh my god.
What the heck?
8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Make sure you're here next Monday. See you then.
Good night.
The ones that say, "What's that?" They have to be conservatives.
I'm like, what's Pacific?
Did you go to school? What?
Time.
Like PST, man.
So funny.